Now, no, this is not another one of my videos about cars. This is a video about government intrusion, property rights, bureaucrats that think that they can tell you whatever they want you to do. You have to hop to it. When they say jump, it's how high. Well, this is a family video, so I can't say what else they would make you to do and then make you to start squatting and grunting, but this video is about gardening. We're in the lovely near suburban city of Oak Park, Michigan, just outside Detroit, and we're on the property of Temple Emmanuel, which is a Reform Jewish temple. As soon as we get out in front of the building, you can see it. There's their building, and the sanctuary is inside there. The Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark, where they keep their Torah scrolls, probably right inside there. Building's been here since 1955. It's almost as old as me. And they have this lovely, lovely front yard that faces 10 Mile Road. And what do we see here on their lovely front yard? But a garden. A wonderful vegetable garden on raised wooden beds. Looks like we got some squashes and some string beans over there, pole beans, and some, looks like basil maybe here, and oh, some other kinds of squashes. Looks like those look like peppers. There's a lot of squashes back there. They're all blooming, and these must be carrots. And oh, here are some tomatoes growing with some tomato wires in cages. I'm going to switch back over to the other side just in case the lighting is washing out the camera. You can just see how lush this is. Some more tomato cages. This is just a, oh, there are tomatoes I can see over there. Green tomatoes already, and it's only July. What a beautiful garden this is. And what the temple does with this garden is it's part of their social justice program. And what they do with the garden is they donate the money to local food charities. I see some tomatoes, some green tomatoes. These must be radishes. They donate the food to local food charities, and that helps them out. People get fresh produce. So this is a lovely garden. Now, the only problem with this garden, now this is where if I knew how to do sound effects and dub music, we'd be playing some kind of ominous minor chord stuff, but this garden is illegal. Are you with the temple? I know English, okay. But just a few blocks away, did I say this garden is illegal? Yes, this garden is illegal, according to the city of Oak Park, at least the way city planner Kevin Rolkowski. Oh, look at that beautiful finch. Did you see it? A couple of finches. Oh, we caught them. Hope we got those on film, or as in the case may be, digital memory card. But it's a lovely garden. You can see the Russian lady is going back there and cultivating. See, it's clearly in the front of the building. I'm gonna let go of my little Steadicam device for a second. Sorry if it gets you a little dizzy. There we go. And we're gonna walk just a few blocks away to my friend Mrs. Bass's house. And you can see this is a big front lawn, but and the property is adjacent to a major highway and a heavily traveled side street. And you can see the garden is the size of a residential lot. I mean, it looks to be almost as wide as the sanctuary of the temple. It's a really large garden. So let's slowly pan back over here. And if the magic of video comes out, I will be able to speed this up and it won't take too much time to get over there. It's really only a few blocks away. I want to show you how close it is. The temple is on 10 Mile Road, which is a major highway in Detroit. If you know anything about Detroit, you know about 8 Mile. Well, this is 2 miles from 8 Mile. You can see traffic going by. And I have the cameras on regular view. I'm not zoomed in at all on the digital zoom or optical zoom or whatever this has, but you can see back there, you can still see that garden there. There are, those boxes are 18, I stepped them off, paced them off. Those gardens are 18 feet wide, 4 feet long, or 4 feet wide and 18 feet long. There are 16 of them. That adds up to a little over 1,100 square feet of garden. And we're already here at 10 Mile Road. And we can still see the garden. See the lady back there, nice Russian lady, gardening, maybe picking some stuff. I wonder if that's legal, what she's doing. I mean, if you can't grow vegetables in your front yard in Oak Park, are you allowed to pick vegetables in your front yard in Oak Park? Well, let's go back for a walk. We're here on 10 Mile. Actually, I know some of these people driving by. This is not far from my house. Not far from where my kids live either. So there, we're on 10 Mile, and if we walk over here, sorry about that quick pan. If you walk over here, you can still see the garden. The front yard garden, it's a big yard, but it's an awfully big garden. So let's go. And I think that's great. I mean, nothing beats a ripe tomato in the summertime, freshly picked from the garden, with the possible exception of a ripe tomato that you give to a hungry person. I bet that tastes a lot better for both of you. So they're growing food for hungry people, but I believe it's illegal. You see, just a short distance away, really 2 or 3 blocks. I mean, these are short blocks here. And if you see where that cement truck is over there, that's that street down there by the playground. I can't let go. I'm gonna have to fine-tune my Steadicam gizmo. Sorry about giving you guys headaches, but What's that now on the camera? It's taken us about 3 minutes to get far. We got about another block to go. It's really not much more than about a 5-minute walk. And Oak Park can be a very nice place to live. A lot of families here. Houses are reasonably priced. Just that the people that run the city think that they run it for themselves, not for the people that live here. Lots of kids. To shoot a cement truck. So we had that little detour, just a couple minutes. And we're over on Mrs. Bass's Street. It's a little ways down the block, not far. You can see it's a typical suburban Detroit neighborhood with bushes and lawns and trees. But, you know, I mean, that house looks kind of different because it's newer. Mr. Wilkowski says that common is the standard. So, I believe it's garbage day in Oak Park. People have their trash out. Or maybe somebody's moving. I think I see Mrs. Bass's garden. Now, actually right now I'm closer to the Bass's house than we were on 10 Mile, looking at the Temple's garden. But I think we're getting close. Now let's see. There's a wooden ramp for somebody that has a wheelchair. And behind that, there it is. The criminal tomatoes. Yes, my friends, if I knew the lyrics to Music Man, I'd talk about River City and starts with P and rhymes with T and stands for tomatoes, and that stands for trouble. That's what we got right here. We got trouble here in Oak Park because this is criminal. Look at that. What scofflaws. So my question to the Oak Park people that run Oak Park is, why is this garden illegal and the Temple's garden has stood there for 10 years? You can see this is in nice shape. The Temple's garden is a little worse for the wear, and this is illegal in Oak Park. I don't understand these things, but then I'm not a city planner or a mayor or on the city council. You know, I just live here and vote. And that looks awfully nice to me. Yes, it doesn't look the same, but that house doesn't look the same. And this house has purple and white flowers. That house doesn't. I bet every house on this block looks different. So this is what the city is prosecuting Julie and her Bass and her husband about this. Those are beautiful tomato plants. I mean, you know, it's maybe Rukowski is jealous, or maybe he just doesn't like tomatoes. But the fact of the matter is that I was looking into the city ordinances, and I actually asked Mr. Rukowski in person if he's ever used this ordinance about other suitable live plant material to control vegetation in Oak Park, and he refused to answer that question. And that's because I suspect with all the ordinances that there are in Oak Park, and there are many, many ordinances here in Oak Park, they cover that, and there are many that cover vegetation, plant material, weeds, noxious plants, how high you can cut let your grass grow, how often you have to cut it, what constitutes a weed, what constitutes this. They're very clear in their definitions, so the city has already pretty much clarified what kind of plants are unsuitable. The only problem for Mr. Wilkowski, who doesn't like the idea of vegetable gardens in the front yard, is that all of those ordinances, all the other ordinances in Oak Park that control vegetation, specifically exempt vegetables. So we have a bureaucrat who is faced with a problem. The law as written appears to be in favor of the property owner, and how dare a property owner be able to use their property. Instead, he comes up with the idea that other suitable plant materials, or suitable live plant materials, I think it is, or, the or is important, is what he's hanging on. What's interesting is when I said to him, I said, well, the ordinance says it has to be planted with grass or ground cover or shrubbery, or suitable live plant material, that's it. And I said, well, look at those wood chips and that mulch. He said, no, that doesn't count. We're talking about live material. So apparently now, wood chips and mulch are in violation of the city. If I could go over the city and show you the stones that they have in front that are apparently not legal. So what appears to be is Mr. Wilkowski was faced with something that he didn't like but couldn't blanketly outlaw, so he redefined certain words and says that using a law that he's never used like this before, and he makes it illegal. Fine. If this garden is illegal, what about the temple's garden? The temple this is 5 4x8 plots. That's about 160 square feet total. You saw how big the temple's was. Let's see, 4 by 18. 3 of the temple's 16 planters exceed the size of this garden as it is. So my question to Mr. Wilkowski, Mr. Seligson, Mr. Levine, Mr. Duplessis, Ms. Jackson, Mayor Naftali, County City Manager Rick Fox, who, when I asked him how much the city cut their salaries when they closed the city one day a week, made me file a Freedom of Information Act request, which is how they feel about taxpayers' money, just like they're using taxpayers' money to prosecute Mrs. Bass and then blame her for it. So this is where we are in Oak Park, where we're standing. My name is Ronnie Schreiber. Normally I cover cars and things automotive, but this was an important thing to get out, and be well. Kotuv.